Girl, I be wearing my trauma on my face. I express it how I like. But I try not to cough. Sorry. Can y'all hear me okay? Y'all can hear me good? Okay. I turn up the volume. Welcome. Today's topic is about you're not everyone's cup of tea, and it is okay. Now, I'm still coming up here Monday, but I just want to share my thoughts now and don't have to wait till Monday. But I'm still gonna make a promise to show up Monday. Yeah, and I just got ready, so it's gonna be like a double shift for me. That's why I'm coming up here early to do this. Alright, we're good. This makes my head a lot bigger, but it's okay. So you're advised this is just entertainment purpose only. Not everything I say you will have a gravity towards to. Something is not just, it's gonna pull you, it's gonna plant a seed, but it's up to you how you sprout and how you grow. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. I much appreciate you for being here and you being the authentic version of yourself for you, not for anybody else. Okay, so there's a difference between doing something for yourself and doing something for others, or allowing others to view you in a different light, or just in general, or a different mindset. Here's the thing. If we keep running into the past, that means the universe is giving you a lesson. It's not so much more or less of a karmic cycle thing. We call it karma because it keeps being on a repeat. But if we call it something else, it becomes something else. So don't look at it as karma. Look at it as life lessons that you haven't completed in this lifetime or in the last life or the last chapter that you left off. This is just a continuation of your rebirth of who and what you are. Welcome on in. Make sure you hit that like button. Much appreciate, love you. But we are not everybody's cup of tea. There's a reason. Because there's one side of the matrix, like waking up to a different perspective of reality, because they're waking up in an environment that's making them and also you. So it's like there are a few of us, like 20% of us, who are operating in a bird's like mind and able to fly and be above ground or to swim if we need to. But there's only so much we can do when we swim, because if things get too heavy on us when we're using our energy, using source, and just being ourselves, we have either two choices around certain people. We either dim our light or we go into a sucking place. And dimming your light is shutting everything off of you, meaning nothing is powering you up, not even the forces outside of you or inside of you, because you're not trying to call upon the forces of you to wake you up. So when you are awoken and you are finally recharged and kind of like reset on the preset still, it's like you taking that perspective of moment that you thought was bad and turning into something good so that it can have its own new outcome to its particular lessons and dimension in that space. So, so when you're traveling into the depths of one's dimensions, and then you're trying to travel into other people realms and dimensions, there's a thing. If they don't have the blueprint to themselves, and you don't have the blueprint to you, how are you going to navigate or draw a map? You can draw a map based off what you observing. Be like, oh, I remember observing this in the last room, but now in the same room, the outcome changes because of how I'm changing the form of my thoughts. Some of us, we don't learn until after, or some of us, we don't learn until during. And it's hard to just go to sleep, have a good night. But it's morning time where I'm at. So Grand Rising and have a good night. I don't know how to close it out properly. Make sure you dream of me peacefully. But anyway, when you are trying to program that program, is it possible to teach a horse how to drink water or show a horse how to drink water? You can just pledge it and leave it. They gotta take care of it. Because it's like, here's the thing about life. Life is not a competition. Life is what you make it. Life life is not a punching bag. It's not something you could just beat yourself or beat somebody over. Because if one is ascending from one particular situation, but you want to make that person feel like they're not ascending, like they're not doing what they're supposed to during the time of transition, you're gonna cause something within yourself to make you be stuck in time, because you think you can do that to one person, but or to one particular spirit or energy or God or source, whatever you want to call yourself. Remember, it's calculating every choices, everything that you do to the human consciousness version of itself. So if you're not treating it as like the body that it came in or the mindset that it already came in because of the environment, and then you're trying to turn it into a god and use it for your own personal gains of the world. But what are you really gaining? You're not gaining nothing, because when they fully wake up, they're not just looking at how much money you can bring in, how much materialistic things you can try to manifest or come up. It's about your demeanor, like how you treat somebody. So if you don't want somebody to treat you that way, Why would you treat somebody else the same way that you had experienced that exact same trauma? But you want them to repeat your lessons that you didn't learn. But when we unlock the key to this, we learn their lesson, but we try to give them the blueprint so that they can rise in the sin. But not everybody wants to listen to or drink your tea because it might be nasty. It might not taste good to some. It might be too bitter. It might not be sweet. But like the thing is about Earth, about being here in this particular body, is you supposed to grasp and understand things around you. You're not supposed to just let things slide and sugarcoat reality. Because we're being blinded by the blind. But the but the dead is also blind, but they know how to live better than than the living, in my opinion. Because otherwise, let me think about it. If you're tapped in on the other side of the supernatural world, they might have like a slight problem in their reality, but they know how to fix it real quickly because they're already in the dream state. Us, we have to go to sleep. Or some who's operating both spirit realm and awake can do this like all at once without even trying. So, like, they fix it real quickly. They don't let it become a problem because they know they are already the problem trying to be the solution of what they created. But look at Earth as a flip mirror. Like, we see the problem and we know that we can be the solution, but we don't want to be source to fix the problem. Because what's happening above, like in space, when a star dies, it regenerates. But it has to take a longer period to complete a life form in whatever it had originally just expanded itself in. So when that star rebirthed itself, like by creating and imagining itself as another star, it does not have a name, it does not have an identification, like it doesn't know that it exists. Nothing that is created by nature fully knows that it's consciously existing until something alerts them that they exist. Same thing is happening with you. Something outside and inside of you is alerting to wakening you. Be like, oh shit, I don't belong here. I don't fit in. I'm too different. I'm too much of a pushover. I'm too much of an eggshell. I let everybody walk over me because I'm choosing. Because I can't stay and fight and be like, hey, this is not the third when they should already know. Because there is no specific age number or when you are wise. It's about when you are already in your higher power, in your higher knowing. How are you functioning in society? Please tell me how you're doing because there are going to be moments where you're going to feel like, damn, I can't talk about this. Or I need my group of people who knows what I know or who can understand and feel, have logic and reasons to what it is that I know, not just brush past like my thoughts don't exist. Because if thoughts don't exist, breathing doesn't exist, motion doesn't exist, you kind of don't exist. That's what they're trying to tell you. But the thing is, they're invoking you to exist, but they won't tell you how to use your environment for you. Because not everybody is from the same land, and we're like land or system, same vibration, same frequency, same form of thought process. And we have people like me and you who have these wonderful information, knowledge, and wisdom because we are learning and we are growing and evolving. So it's hard to feel like you're a part of something that you either feel like you created or be a part of, or feel like you haven't done enough. And remind you, if you go, the vision goes. They can't decide to wake you up and take everything that you created and let you be enslaved into your creation. Either give me freedom or give me death. Like, I'm calling it now. Like, I'm calling that on my part because either in freedom, even in death, you're not truly free, but you're free to an extent to use your imagination, use the gift of vision the way it's supposed to intend it to be. Because now that I'm seeing more people waking up, they have the gift of vision. I, on my other hand, was using the gift of vision kind of wrong because how can you understand foresight, the gift of foresight? Even in the gift of foresight, you're able to see things, the outcome, or see what somebody is thinking, feeling, plotting something. You can still create and manifest because you're using um, all aspects, all access of you, but you're gonna be worn out and you're gonna be so tired of allowing these people to continuing using you the way that they are because it's part of their program system. They're out of their box a little bit, but then you're stepping back in. Once you step into your own Merkaba circle, you become the avatar, but you have not really truly like mastered the ability of fire, water, and air and earth. So I missed one. And once you realize they're making a cross out of you, you know how to ascend and descend in any moment. Like, because the universe or divine present of you is always listening and is always going to make sure if you have learned the lessons or not. And if you have not learned it, you repeat it. And if it repeats again after you ascended, it's the other person's turn to ascend. And if they're not ascending and you keep going through it, the odds are you can control your lines, you can control how you react to certain things. Be like, oh, I was like this 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. Now that we're in the present moment of trying to get to our future, we can proceed with cautious of how we act. And just based off the form of thought of how somebody is talking to you, it's kind of like how you can control your reaction. So listen out carefully. The tree just did like a weird ass emotion. Like it followed what I said. Like there's no other wind outside of itself. Some trees do move on its own. They can. It's just like I've seen videos where like trees will like get up and start walking. They used to do that back in the day when the dragons and stuff was here. But now they can only do so much like in their coexistence of their program. Like they can step outside the program a little bit when it's something else paying attention to its program. Or yeah, vice versa. It's kind of weird looking at it. I don't know. It was like doing this wave emotion like this. So that. And it's still doing it. Because I've never seen a tree do that before. It's so weird. But yeah. Another thing is you gotta have spiritual like family or support system, like maybe a spiritual husband or spiritual wife. Not necessarily you being in the physical phase. I mean in their physical space. It's just that you have more protection. But then they're also abusing their program as well. There's one thing to guide and to protect somebody, but then trying to control somebody and manipulate and take over. What's the point of you being a spiritual husband or a spiritual brother or a spiritual sister or family, even if you're just going to do exactly how my earth family does it? Like I said, give me freedom or give me death. There's no in between of wanting to live for something and wanting to live for yourself. Because I try to live for other people. It's just I'm never satisfied or never feel complete. Because like they're gonna constantly want more once you keep giving and giving. And that's very exhausting and it makes me unkind. And then it makes me feel ungrateful. And then when I feel that way, somebody projects the word ungrateful onto me. When I know in another part of myself, I'm doing exactly enough where I'm supposed to do enough at a particular time. But it's like, bruh, it's so hard for me to fit in or even accept myself. Because I wouldn't want like anybody to feel what I'm feeling because I'm exposing myself, but I have to expose the details of what's causing me to think certain things or feel certain things. I don't want to hide anymore. I actually need like real people who have to give a vision and who can see what I'm seeing or what I'm feeling. If not, I'd rather just go back to hiding or just like put myself in a box myself. I'm sorry. I feel very incomplete. And it's okay. Because I know once I leave, I get to expand better in a different realm. Hopefully not in the same situation, different body, different situation. Hopefully a peaceful situation. Because like when you come back, you're not gonna find the version of you that's doing all of this already online. Maybe if you're lucky enough to remember. Yeah, so depressing. Yeah, but I'm seeing it in a light perspective because like you gotta. It's doing it again. Why? Hi. I just said hi to the tree. I'm like, it's trying to get my attention. I'm like, okay, hi. You got my attention. But yeah, like I'm not gonna let it affect me. It's affecting me. It's irking my soul. But it's the fact that there's a version of me that won't rise up in its consciousness. Like, you don't have to take it no more, right? You can just leave. Do you got a problem with it? What about yours? Are you good looking? Because I give two shits. But anyway, so yeah, it's just like if I can find like-minded people, kind-hearted people, it would be nice. Like I said before, either give me freedom or give me death. Because you can't trap a god in his own timeline so it can be a slave. Once it already ascended, it should be able to already be in this timeline. But the process is a little bit longer so it can be complete when we get there. Because if I get there and I still go through the same shit, we have not completed everything we needed in the past. Yeah, if you can feel my energy, sorry. It's just like shit. When I think a lot, which I do, I overthink and I analyze, and I can quickly like put things in a list. I'm like, okay, I get it. But like, why is it like that though towards me? I guess everybody's different. Much appreciate love you. You're so sweet. But anyway, have a good day.